Man, what's up?
I was just texting you.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh
while
wait,
we
we
were,
got we got to share this too, though. Look, man, I am absolutely brain fried.
yeah. So you'll notice we're on a little bit later, and I actually had one of our faithful listeners said, like, "What the hell? No podcast tonight?"
Yeah,
Um,
my mommy,
so
my
yeah,
mommy was like, "Hey, are you gonna be like, whatever? I don't know." She was talking about something with some. She had some chickens to deal with and stuff like that. So
well, is she gonna come on and watch? Because I mean, I don't know what to do without her. But anyway, so I just sent you
yeah,
a
I don't
text
either.
about that dispute, which has been resolved in our favor. So yeah, so we're late tonight, y'all. I'm sorry. Had some dear friends from out of town come to visit, and they're staying at a hotel, and I didn't want them to not be able to do their normal Easter stuff. So I fed them some dinner because they've been in a hotel, they haven't had home cooked food, and then the kids decorated like they dyed their Easter eggs and stuff like that, and
They could have ate ramen. That's pretty home cooked.
no, oh my god. Well, no,
That's
but
like a
not too far
hookup.
off. Not too far off though, because I made pasta and then I did 2 different sauces. Um,
Ramen noodles was a
and
luxury
yeah, no,
where
no,
I come
no
from.
ramen. No, I didn't do that. And then let's see, we did Italian sausage, and then I did penne with marinara sauce, and then I did a ricotta sauce, and then I had some
Say
salad,
that
and
word
then
again. What was that?
ricotta.
Is that
I don't know
French
what you. No, it's
or is that?
Italian. What do you call it? Ricotta
I thought.
cheese.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
I
and
don't.
then
I don't even say it because I don't really like that kind of cheese. So.
I'm, I'm distraught. Now I'm just distraught. And then so we did that, and then they have this beautiful 6-month-old baby boy. So I steamed some peas and pureed it for him so he could have some home cooked dinner too. So it was fun. It was good. But I mean, I'm sorry. I know I texted you. I'm like, I'm sorry. Can we do this a little bit later? But hey, look, we've got some of our faithful they're still on here, even though
Man,
we're
and when
late.
you text me, I was like, I
Happy
looked at
Easter,
the
Mama T.
Happy Easter, Mom. I was looking at the phone and I was like, oh, snap. We about to go live in a little while. I was like, I got 12 miles left. I got to hurry up and get back. I
No.
honestly had kind of like, we hadn't really talked about it. And I was just kind of, I don't know. I knew I needed to be back by that time, but because I tried to get off the road by dark.
Yeah.
Last night that didn't happen, but I did 50 miles yesterday. And then this morning I had a 10K, which is like 6.2. It turned out to be
Yep.
like 6.3. And then I cycled 50 miles because I had a friend that was like running 50 miles yesterday or 52 miles yesterday and 52 miles today. Well, I can't put that kind of mileage on my feet right now because of the event that I have coming up.
Right.
And I'm also just getting over stress fractures. So the cycling was how I supported her.
Good.
She got her 104 miles in, and I did 100-mile cycling, which
Awesome.
also like goes right into the training that I have going on for the
Awesome.
upcoming event. So
So I've started training too. We have our record ACFT, which is the Army's new thing. Like last week we did familiarization.
mhm.
So I think in August we're actually doing it's going to be a diagnostic, but if you do well on it, they'll take it as a record. So of
Yeah,
course now, considering my new position, which we'll talk about in a minute, I got to kill it. So there's some things like they have this, what is it called? Push, drag, carry. I forget exactly what it's called, but it's set up.
yeah.
It's a 25 meter. So you have to run there and back, and then you have to. I can't remember the order of everything. It's like you run there and back, and then another 25-meter there and back is with 2 40-pound kettlebells there and back, and then you have to do the sidestep gallop thing there and back. And I think it's just to fatigue you. And then you have an 80 or a 90-pound sled that you had to drag there and back, and then I feel like there's something else, but I don't remember. Maybe that's it. But for right now, that 80, 90-pound drag thing whoops me. Like
Yeah,
that'll fatigue my legs. So, and then you've got, after all of the other things, you've still got the 2-mile run.
yeah.
So I've got to work on that. And then they have like this 10-pound medicine ball that you have to hold it and throw it over your head.
Mhm.
And that's entirely technique. because you can't, like I was holding the ball here because I was afraid the damn thing was going to drop on my head. So, and my hands aren't that big. So holding a 10-pound kettlebell is kind of hard. Like, so you hold it here and I'm sitting here thinking this thing's going to fall on my head and I'm going to wind up breaking my, so anyway, I got to get over that part of it. But I mean, it's fun. It's a lot more fun than the APFT. But anyway, started to do that training, got planks and everything else. 4-minute plank.
Is that how long it is?
Yeah, there's a 4-minute. Well, that's to max it. I'm not going to go for minimum anything. That's just not me.
A plank, like 4 minutes of plank is actually like 8 minutes of like your actual life.
Yeah. So
because it's such a long time to be in that
to sit there. Yeah.
Plank sucks.
It does, and you're shaking for most of it. I mean, so anyway, I'm shaking anyway. I'm gonna get stronger, and then there's a deadlift, and I can't remember what the weight is in order for me to max it. So anyway, all that stuff is going on. So I've started training. I'm working up to it. But hey, I want you to notice.
I like that shirt.
Yeah, look at this awesome t-shirt that I'm sporting right now. See, you can kind of see it on the camera. I'm supporting my friend. GS.
How soft is it?
It's soft. It's a nice t-shirt. I like it.
I was thinking about maybe calling it Golf Sierra.
Yeah, could be.
I'd be like, oh, is this a golf store? Go in there and spend all your money.
Yeah. So, all right. So how's your week been, man?
Oh, man. So the week starts out, right? Like it starts out pretty challenging. I feel like I don't even know what day it is right now, but I'm barely in there. But it seemed like, a bunch of things were like, I mean, just for the past few weeks, it just seemed like things were pretty much just kind of like falling apart. I haven't been able to read a whole lot. I haven't been able to read really at all. And it's like where I was at mentally, it's like nothing was taking place. Nothing that I wanted to happen was happening. And like people that I was like relying on, like weren't making things happen. And like, it was, and not that they weren't just like making things happen. They were going through things as well. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there were priorities that they had to take care of with like family and stuff like that. And it was like, okay, but like the event really is like not a priority over your family, right? Like not for somebody else, and so like things were like getting dropped and stuff like that. And then I was going through like a bunch of drama with the shirts and stuff like that. And I'm still working on ironing that out. And then, so even with the shirts, if you think about it, the way that I look at like everything that happened, like from the jump was wrong. Like the first material that they printed on it was wrong. And then couldn't get those shirts out in time. So then they put them on like they ran on Audible. So they printed them on some like white shirts and sent those to us. And I was like, all right, so that was 2 mistakes. Well, then the words on the left sleeve were like upside down. They still looked cool, but it just was like not right. And I knew it. You know what I'm saying? And like, oh, well, if you look at it close, yeah, but you know what? I know it's there 24 hours a day, and I don't really operate like that. So go through that, get to the shirts, start printing the shirt. The immediate first thing that starts happening is they start printing them on dry fits. And I was like, okay. So I go in there and I check in. I'm like, hey, man, maybe I made a mistake on what I told you, right? Like what kind of material I told you. And I was like, aren't they supposed to be on like a tri-blend shirt or like, like a next level? Yeah. Why? I was like, because they're being printed on dry fits. And
that's a huge management issue at that.
So check this out. There were 25 orders at that point. Okay. So with that means like 25 shirts had left wrong. Well, okay, well, they're going to make it right. Well, this was like 3 weeks ago. Nobody's still gotten a shirt, right? Like,
yeah, it took a while.
But when I went in there and I'm talking to him and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, so where are the next levels at? Where's the other ones at? I just want to fill them. I want to make sure. I want to fill the shirts. I just want to see what what they feel like. you know, and he's like, oh, I don't have those, but this is what this and the wrong color, right? He's like, here's another one. And I'm like, so you completely made the mistake, and you're not gonna tell me that you don't want to tell me that you literally didn't order the shirts. You just started printing them on dry fit. You're not. Oh, with the girl, because and it was like, oh, with the girl in the back, and I'm like,
Yeah,
now you're
blame.
not even taking ownership of your mistake. You're gonna put it on the high school kid that you have working in the back.
Yeah, not a good model. No, 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 no,
So
no.
then from there, the flags start getting put on the wrong sleeve. Then some stuff like missing on the back. I'm like, bro, I have an event like this month, and I can't have people showing up wearing my shirt and it being wrong. Like, second, when somebody like my military friends start getting their shirts and their flags are backwards and stuff like that, everybody knows that your flag goes on the right sleeve.
Yep.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
because
saying?
it
So
faces forward. If you put it in the left sleeve, it's in retreat, and we don't retreat.
we don't retreat. So, you know, I'm just like, I always remembered it like this. Like, the way that the flag is supposed to be facing with the stars to the front is because you're charging into battle.
Yep.
Because that's where the staff is, that's where the stars are, and that the flag is waving
It
in the
goes
back,
behind
right?
you, right?
So, I was, and then I'm like, I'll come over there to do work. I'm not afraid of work, especially when it like is involving my brand and like what I stand for, and it's got my name on it, it's got my initials on it, it's got, you know, whatever. Oh yeah, we're gonna make it right. And I'm like, my little sister was like the first order for the shirts, and she still has the wrong shirt.
Really? So I just got mine. What was it, last weekend? Right when I was in Birmingham, Izzy
I
texted me to
mean,
let
but
me
they
know
had
that
to
it arrived.
replace that. They had to go in and take, like, you know, I was like, man, you can't freaking keep sending shirts out and not correcting the
See,
other
it's
ones, you
right.
know?
It's quality control, right? This is your company. So anyway, you got it fixed. You
No,
actually
well,
have some
sort of.
other things in play that
Yeah.
are going to fix the situation. So that's good. But
So,
Geoff,
and that was the clarity that so you know what?
yeah,
Here's the thing about it is that universe, God, whatever you believe in, however you believe in life and spiritual, whatever, like that looks out for us, karma, all this stuff. I'm the type of person that I don't want to not be able to do business with somebody just because a little mistake gets made. Because I know throughout my life, the severity of the mistakes that I've made, and then boom, I've gotten these second chances, right?
mhm.
Well, I don't want to go and just be like, bro, one shot and I'm just boom, I can't deal with you or what. I don't want to be like that, right? I want to be a calm, like humble, understanding type human. And
Compassionate, sure.
yeah. And so when this happens, I want to be understanding because I would like somebody to treat me the same way. Well, the universe, I think, was like, okay, strike one, here you go. You're not supposed to be with them. Strike two. Okay, you're not supposed to be
Yep.
with them. Strike three. Oh, you still here, idiot? Okay, here's strike four. How about strike 5 and 6 too?
Like how many times do I have to put it in front of you, to push you elsewhere? It
Life is
happens.
it's the definition of insanity, right? And I'll continue to do that. But I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to just mess this up in business because they've kind of like done me good in some areas, but then in other areas, it's not been so good. And
Well,
then when I walk in, it feels like, well, I'm not really welcome there because they're so busy and stuff like that. And then I walk into this other company and they're like, oh yeah, the graphic design will be turned around in 2.5 days. We want to help you. We like blah blah blah. Like you're a good fit for the brand, the company, yada yada yada. And then so it was just like really so much different. But I had
Jeff,
that same. Go ahead.
but that's how it happens, right? And if you leave this company, then maybe they have to sit there and look at their practices and improve things. Everything happens for a reason, not because it's predestined, but because you have to take the crap that happens and roll with it. And maybe this company now looks at it and says, "Why did I lose him? What happened? How can I fix it so that this doesn't happen again?" Because their mistakes weren't small, Jeff; they were big, and they put you back behind
Well, they're big.
weeks
Their mistakes are big. Maybe not so much for them, but they're big
for
according
you.
to me
Yeah,
because my brand is so small.
sure.
Like those are literally the founding shirts of my brand. This is
So,
this is
and I'm
literally the
proud.
first
Look,
piss
everybody,
of.
see, look, and I'm proud to wear it. There it is. Hang on, let me see.
Look good.
Yep, I do. I look 30 pounds good, don't I?
There you go.
I'm telling you.
Absolutely. Keep working, man. Keep working.
Yep.
It works if you work it.
I'm going to be so amazing in another, couple months after I get all this. It's going to be like, I'm telling you, at the age I am right now, I'm going to be like so rocking, better than I was when I was 15 years younger. Well, I mean, maybe not then,
Damn.
because 15 years younger, I was pretty rocking in the midst of all the deployments. But no, it's going to be good. I cannot be the rank that I'm possibly going to be and not be fit and trim and leading the way. Right?
Lead by example.
That's it. I believe
Lead
that.
by example. That's very important. Very important
Yeah.
this day.
So you had some interesting things happen to you. So we talked. I was in the middle of battle assembly in Birmingham, and some pretty big things happened for me. The rest of that drill, and we haven't talked this week very much. Just a few minutes before we came on live. So I kind of told you a little bit about it, but it's a big deal for me. Changes a lot of perspective. So it's looking. So I'm in the slot now. Um, I am a lieutenant colonel who just got put by a general, the division commander, to be the exercise lead, basically, which is how I think most civilians would understand it. But I'm the mission command branch chief, which is a full bird colonel slot that I'm going to be doing as lieutenant colonel for about the next 2 years until I'm eligible for promotion. So that's a pretty big deal. And
What
I'm
after lieutenant colonel is a general, right?
well, after lieutenant colonel is colonel.
Colonel. That's not what I meant. Yeah,
After
after colonel.
colonel, yep, that's general. No, we're not doing that.
No,
No, no, no. There may be a capello wearing a star. It won't be me.
but let's see. If you're an adopted child, and both your parents are one star.
No, we won't have two 1-star generals because I don't have the school. I'm not going to war college.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. My husband is. So if there's going to be a general, it's won't be me, but it'll be him.
Yeah.
So colonel and a general, that's not a bad thing. So, and my kids, April is the month of the military child. So that's kind of a big thing. And I put a post on Facebook yesterday, and it was kind of, you know me when I post, right? I get kind of emotional about some of these things. But what I wanted to say about the month of the military child is the gratitude that we get for being in the service is tremendous. People thank us all the time. They see us in uniform. It's wonderful. But when you thank us, audience, I want you to remember that the reason that we still can serve is because we've got kids behind us who make it worthwhile, right? So they're my why. I do it because I continue to believe that the work that we do makes the world better somehow. I have to believe that. So that's why I do it. So when soldiers are thanked, don't forget that they got kids and everything else at home who are waiting for us to come home safely. So military children. And my kids, I think my kids are pretty amazing anyway, but my kids they're part of a pretty elite club because there aren't very many kids of dual military families. There are not a lot of families who are married to each other in the military. I know it feels like there's a lot, but there aren't really comparatively. So there are very few kids in our country who are part of dual military families, and then my kids are. So they don't have to worry about one parent; they got to worry about two. So I think they're pretty special because of that. And I always try to remember the sacrifice that my kids are making so that I can still do this. So every time I get thanked, I think about my kids who are, amazing just because they are. But so big week for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Freaking very impressive.
We'll see if
Very
I
impressive.
actually make it to the 06 because it's not a guarantee.
Oh, how can you not though?
Well, I mean, I don't like to count
Is that
chickens.
Is that self doubt? I mean, I count my chickens early and usually end up disappointed.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm not proud because I am. I am really proud of myself and I have really worked hard for this. Thanks, Caroline. I've really, really, really worked my butt off for a very long time. However, there's a lot that goes into selection. So we'll see. All I can do is all I can do. That's it.
Yeah.
Can't do any more than that. But it would be damn nice. I'll tell you. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I agree. I totally agree.
So
I'm still dealing with a little bit of brain fog, so just kind of excuse my.
I know. Like what?
Like,
You act like you've done a lot today or something. I mean, come on. I don't get what's going on.
I'm just like, I should be saying something else.
So
Creativity is not peaking right now.
no, I know it's been tough. And hey, it's Easter coming up, and Easter is a really sacred time for a lot of people. If you're Christian, it's the most sacred day of the calendar year. Easter is the most important holiday in the Christian religion. So if you're Christian, you're celebrating Easter right now. And there's a lot of people who are at Vigil Mass. And during Easter Vigil, a lot of people get baptized and confirmed if they're adults entering the Catholic Church at that time. So kind of a big deal for a lot of people. So it's a culmination of a lot of hard work that they've gone through and a lot of discernment and things like that. So Easter, thanks. And so Easter is a pretty big time. For a lot of families, it also means that they are diligently trying to make sure that the Easter Bunny has done what the Easter Bunny has to do, so that Easter traditions are maintained come early morning for some of these families.
Yeah.
So, you got to hide all the eggs and make sure that the eggs are stuffed because the Easter Bunny, the Easter Bunny doesn't do all that. The Easter Bunny is the one that gets all the credit. The parents are the one who do all the work. And I'm saying that because, there are some people who do have their kids who are eagerly awaiting the Easter Bunny. So, we support that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that part, but I might leave a basket out or something like that. But that's about as far as it goes. I don't hide eggs and stuff like that anymore.
I sent baskets to my kids at college. I sent them out this week, and they all texted back, and they're all like, "Oh, this is so great!" They're so excited to get their baskets.
Yeah.
So, these are all 19-year-old kids, and they're all just so happy to get their little Easter baskets with the Easter grass in it, and their candy and all that kind of stuff. So,
what kind of candy did you put in there?
So it depends on the kid. So one of them is allergic to pretty much everything. So I had to send her some, I had to actually search for chocolate bunnies that weren't made in any kind of like nut or tree nut kind of thing. So I sent her Pop-Tarts that she likes, and I sent her some Sour Patch Kids, a whole bunch of gum. I sent her a chocolate bunny. And then I ordered some really cool stuff from Uncommon Goods. Have you ever heard of that website, Uncommon Goods? They have really neat stuff. So
I don't think so.
And then Sabrina doesn't really like candy. Somehow I went wrong with her. I don't know what I did.
Man, I'm freaking gummy, like anything.
Well, there's only certain things. She's not a huge chocolate fan. She doesn't really love them. So there's really no use in getting that stuff for her because it's kind of a waste. So she only likes like gummy bears and fruit by the foot.
Whew, gummy bears. That's my jam.
Yep. So I sent her those. And then the other one, Kit Kats, Twix, Reese's, so chips, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, little treats just to get them through their finals. Let them know we miss them. And then,
you
all
mentioned
the hard-boiled eggs. What?
You mailed them hard-boiled eggs too?
Well, yeah, that's what you have to dye. You can't dye raw eggs. You have to dye hard-boiled eggs.
You don't just send some plastic ones?
No, I didn't send these to the college kids. These were here for my friend because her kids,
got you.
They range in age from 6 months to 16.
Yeah.
So she's got a 6 months. I think the next one up is like 7 or 8, and then 10, and then 16. So I mean, there's like a good, but they decorate eggs. So yep, I boiled 30 eggs yesterday so that they would be done and ready. 30 eggs, and they dyed them tonight.
Yeah, I would have ate
So
that. You wouldn't have had 30 eggs by the end of
I
it.
know I love hard boiled eggs. I love to leave them in the fridge. Like Easter is awesome, right? Because you reach in, you get this cheery egg that's dyed, you break it open. I mean, that's great. And then you just sit there, pour a little salt on it, and you eat it.
You pour salt on them too? Man, I don't have time
Well,
for that.
a little bit. I usually eat them without it, but my husband, salt and
I just
pepper.
throw them. I've done that before too, though. I've done that
No,
before.
I literally, usually
Yeah.
I peel it and then I'm eating it in the car on the way to work
Mhm.
or something.
Yeah.
You know, breakfast. I gotta have breakfast. So we decided tonight that we're not going to do one of our posts, but we do need to. We've been teasing the compass post for a while, so we got to do that one maybe next week.
Okay.
We should talk about that.
Is that one next?
No, I mean we can do whatever we want, but that's the one that we've been teasing for a while. Like it's come up in a few of our conversations.
Yeah. Well, it's
So
an
it might be
interesting
good.
topic. You know,
It is.
talking. You know, it's like anytime you talk about like land nav was like really one of my favorite courses in the military, and I think it's very important, especially in today's life as a trail runner and stuff like that as well. You know, so um, being able to navigate is key. But I mean, we
Yeah.
got all this crazy technology. Like I have a Garmin Phoenix 6X Pro Solar, whatever, like lasts for 21 days. It'll do like 84 hours in a race without having to be charged. And I mean,
Wow.
literally, you can load coordinates on it, like GPX files, towards where whatever the route is for the race, and you don't have to do anything. So it kind of like takes me away from my
cheating.
Yeah, it's like, so man, so like that whole thing is it made me weak, not having to navigate like old school. So that's one of the things that I don't want to do in the future is like go to I have a lot of military friends, obviously, but like I have a lot of friends that are like in the industry of like
Mm-hmm.
they're like SEALs, and they like take this as like a business. So the training, they're taking like a lot of training and then like teaching it to civilians and like building like a really powerful community of like protectors, people that can protect themselves, people that can like protect their family. And I have friends that do that stuff, and I've been like waiting for the opportunity. Sometimes it's really expensive.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not exactly balling like that yet. I
So
don't
do you
need
remember
GPS.
do you remember back in the day when we literally
I actually got expert on my navigation stuff.
I was going to say, do you remember when they used to drop us off in the middle of Camp Beauregard and you had to go get your slot, and then you'd have like, I don't know, what was the time limit? Like an hour? I don't remember what it was to get your 6 or 7 points.
Man, I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but I do remember. I remember very much, like one of the times, I think it was before deployment, I was actually running the course. I'd randomly, like we had to draw, and I randomly drew my husband. We ran that entire course, and we finished it in about 26 or 27 minutes, and we came back in. We had briars everywhere. I mean, do you remember some of these points were in the middle of like the briar and the bramble patches? And then some of the other points were in the middle of like this boggy swamp crap. And you'd come out and you'd have like orange all the way up to your knees from like that orange soil and that mud that we had in the middle of Louisiana. So, I mean, we'd everywhere, all in my hair. Like I would take my hair out of its braid because at the time I still had really long hair that I would just coil, give myself headaches. So I eventually cut it off, but it would be everywhere, like crap in my hair, mud up to my, like all the way onto my pant legs, in my boots, up to my knees from like wading through that stuff. I'd have briars everywhere, but it was exhilarating.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things.
Fun.
I loved land nav. I loved it.
Yeah, that was my jam as well. I thought it was a very important tool.
It is.
Out
It's
there.
it's confidence
very good
too.
knowledge.
Yeah. So like when you can get yourself out of something, you never feel you never have that fear of being lost.
Right.
So like
Oh, and then that
now,
was Jazz that said that? I thought that was my mom.
no, it was my girl.
Oh,
That was my girl who said that.
she knows better. She knows better.
Well,
I've been
yeah,
lost once on a trail,
hey,
and I
that's
was
all
like,
that matters.
that was like 50 miles in.
Just once. Because look, I'll tell you, we went with our kids, and I forget where we were. I think we were somewhere in Tennessee, and we were hiking, and the trail literally was washing away in front of our eyes because the water had risen. So we couldn't go the way that we were intending on going. So we had to navigate ourselves out of where we were because you couldn't just turn back. And we wound up we navigated like to the main road because we knew if we got into the main road, we could just grab our kids. Now, my son was probably only like 7 at the time. So the water had come up and it was pretty high. And we had to find a place where we could ford the river and get through it. So there we were with our little chain using all the tricks and tips that we'd ever learned in the military, getting our family out of there. But there's no way we were going to, we knew what we were doing. Like there's no way we're going to get lost because we had the confidence. And because we were confident, my kids were never afraid.
Yeah.
And now they've learned it. So when we go hiking now, they're not afraid because they know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff. You can't always rely on these things, on these, watches that we have on our wrist. You got to know. And you know what else, Caroline? You guys don't know phone numbers either.
Oh, I do.
You don't know phone
I've been to jail plenty of times. I know phone numbers.
Well, the thing is, like, ask most of these kids, right? Because all they do, they store the phone number. Yeah, I know, Michael. Speaking of hiking, I saw your invites. I'm going to accept them. So Michael works for Parks and Rec. He's also one of my Rotary brothers. So he's leading us in like some hikes and things like this. We got to get some like hikes. I want to hike.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michael, he does both. He doesn't, some fun. So Michael doesn't, like, he does both. Sometimes he'll schedule a walk so that multiple generations of Rotarians can go through. And sometimes he schedules hikes. And I really I haven't been able to go on them because he always has them scheduled when I'm gone on Army duty. But I'm going to look. We're going to do it. I'm going to go. So Caroline, I'll confess right now, it took me a while to learn my own kids' phone numbers. I've got them now, but you get lazy because you program them in. They're under contacts. I don't know your number, Caroline. I just pull up Caroline and I text you. If I ever lost that and lost all my information in the cloud, if the Russians came after it, that's it. So I guess I better memorize. One of us better memorize the other number. So what else can't this generation do? They can't navigate without their GPS. They don't memorize phone numbers. What else can't they do? Because of technology. Oh, can they pop popcorn without a microwave? Can you pop popcorn without a microwave?
I mean, I could figure it out.
Jazz, can he pop popcorn without a microwave?
She doesn't know. She doesn't know how to do it. You just use a pot, and some heat,
and some oil, or of a campfire.
Yeah, that would be the easiest way to do it. Actually,
with a cast iron pot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you don't really need anything else. That sounds
dangerous. It is not dangerous. Not dangerous. So we started planning our trip to Ireland this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What part?
All over. Like we're just going.
You're going to be some gypsies.
So we don't
go and float around.
So have I ever told you how I choose our vacations?
Pinterest?
No. So I look on. I search. I go to Google, and I search like just flights from wherever you are for however many people in a general time frame of when you want to go. And then Google pulls up the map, and they put all this through the algorithm, and they show you this is how much it's going to cost you. Like this is the cheapest flight, whatever we find from your point of debarkation into whatever it is. So I started you start like searching all over and pulling through. And at the time when I was looking, Poland was a front runner because I love Poland. I've been there. Warsaw and Krakow are beautiful. I think it's a spectacular, and I'd love to bring my family there.
What kind of crackers did you say?
Krakow. Oh my
Oh, I thought
gosh.
you said Worcestershire. I thought you were trying to
Krakow.
say Worcestershire or something like that.
No, no.
Can you say that word?
Worcestershire?
Well, how is it? Say it 3 times.
Worcestershire? Worcestershire, Worcestershire, Worcestershire.
Somebody make that a meme. I don't know. Say
Oh,
it, play it backwards.
your mouth to someone's ears, and if that turns out to be a meme, you and I gotta fight. But so anyway, so Poland has their hands full right now. I don't think they need people coming over and touring when they're trying to basically be a staging area for, a war. So I started looking beyond them, and then I found, Dublin. So we're flying into Dublin, and that's what I do. I figure because there's nowhere in the world that's a once in a lifetime trip. You can go back anywhere. You just have to prioritize it and go back, right? So I said, well, shoot, let's go to Dublin. The UK has been on our list for a while, UK and Ireland. So this time we're not going to do the UK. We're only going to do Ireland. I don't even think we're going to go into Northern Ireland on this trip. So we're flying into Dublin, and then we're going to tour some stuff. Some of the big things, and then some of the off the beaten path, just quintessentially Irish stuff. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to do a lot of hiking. So that's kind of the plan right now. But we started planning it. So at least now we've got a map with some points. We got to get our accommodations.
Yeah.
Campgrounds, Airbnbs.
How far away is that?
I don't know. It's like a 6 or 7 hour flight, I think.
No. How far in advance is this?
How
far away is this?
Beginning of June.
Oh, this year?
Uh-huh. A couple months.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It'll work out. I mean, it'll be fine. We'll get the tickets for the places in advance that we need to go to, and if we don't get tickets, then we'll go back and do it the next time.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I have to go and do everything all at once, because first of all, you can't. Second of all, it makes yourself crazy. And third, that's not a vacation.
Right. No. Anytime you try to do too much and you jam, so that's like not even fun. Like we went on a trip one time, and it was like we had so much stuff planned. It was like one of the trips to St. Augustine where we were like trying to go to like TVP, and we're trying to do this other thing. We're trying to do this other thing. And it was like some of the things got dropped, and it was just like, it was like certain parts of it were kind of just stressful, just because like, oh, I don't know if we're going to get to do this, but I really want to do that, because I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Somebody wants to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to be like, oh, well, no, this is not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not, I don't know.
But you have to make a call at some point in time, and everybody's not going to get what they want. And a vacation is supposed to be a time for you to suck the marrow out of something. Yeah. And if that means that you can't on every single thing, you can only do what you can do. Like, what use is it if you just run through Ireland and you check off, yep, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there, I've been there. But have you really seen or experienced anything? So that's what we're going to do. That's what we do. We go to a place, we'll do it, and if we don't get to everything, we'll go back.
Yeah.
The world is there. I don't think you're going to make it, man.
Speaking of who, me?
Yeah.
Why?
You're tired.
Huh? No, I'm good. I'm good. Well, I know I'm tired. Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely tired. But, man, talking about vacation, I'm not going to be able to go into specifics of it, but I'm about to get a nice vacation.
You are indeed. You are indeed.
A little 11-day thing. But I can say that we did get tickets to Summer Smash for First Form. So I'm pretty excited about that. Which is like this, almost like a fitness convention, but we all go to First Form. We go do like some workouts. We go have like, if people are drinking, you can drink, whatever. And then there's like this massive like concert party with like Ferris wheel and like almost like it's like a carnival or something like that.
Well, that's going to be awesome. And your 11-day trip coming up, that's going to be a life-changing trip for you, I think.
Oh yeah, that I'm going to journal every day, like on that, like, you know what I'm saying? So I only have to work like 12, like only have to be engaged for like 12 hours at a time. The other 12 hours
Mm-hmm.
I'd be sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like shift work, because there's
Yeah.
things going on 24 hours a day. And it's going to be so freaking like just inspiring. And, the education and the knowledge that's going to be like passing around, and like you know, just the type of people, the individuals that it's going to be around. I'm so excited about that. Like, I can't talk about it yet, like the specifics of it, but
It's
man,
coming. It's
it's
gonna be a big
coming.
deal.
Yeah, probably maybe by the next episode we might be able to talk about it, I think. Um
Well, we'll see. I mean, there's a timeline that you've got to go by, and I can't wait to talk about it. It's gonna be a big deal.
yeah.
It's a big deal for you for sure. So let's
Cuz
see.
like this is what we were talking about earlier that I kind of dropped the ball on, I guess you could say, was that sometimes when you have goals on the way to those goals, you hit things that you don't realize that's going to take place, right? Like you hit these massive milestones. So I think something like, because in life, sometimes it'll seem like literally everything's falling down on you, falling down around you. Like literally the roof's just caving in, everything's like going to shit, and it's just like not happening the way that you would see it, right? Like as
Mm-hmm.
you expected it to. And then through the mud or whatever, if you stay consistent with everything, you keep working hard, you keep your head down despite whatever negativity is taking place, despite whatever bad stuff is happening, you stay true to the journey. You stay true to the path. You stay true to executing on a day by day basis of the things, like we talk about the power list. My power list has kind of changed a lot, like as far as like what I'm doing right now, because there's specific goals. But the like transition, like the transition between the goals, there are constants in there that never change.
Because they're values. It's going along with your values.
What's like nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
the training changes, but it's still a workout, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
my body changes in different ways to look and adapt a certain way to perform a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain look that I want if I need to be in a photo shoot. There's a certain look that I need if I'm going to do a 100-mile run. There's a certain look that I need if I'm going to cycle for 100 miles, run a marathon, and then flip a 200-pound tire for a mile.
For a mile.
There's a certain type of workout that I have to do that's going to get me through that, right? Like the supplements that I take change, the type of food that I eat changes, the amount of food I eat changes and stuff like that. And then the training goes through the roof because I have to be able to keep those. So the way that I do it is like I have to keep those muscles firing for like, I have to get them comfortable with firing for 24 hours. So
Yeah,
I
it's
have
the
to
stamina and the
train on a
endurance.
regular, yeah. And I'm sore right now because I haven't done like, like 6, 7, 8 hours of training a day in a while. Like, except for these last 2 days of I mean, every once in a while, yeah, I'm out for like 12 hours, 13 hours, 15 hours. I mean, man, sometimes I leave and it's dark and I come home and it's dark.
So
And
hey,
that's how long I'm exercised. That's how long
how's
I'm literally fighting out there.
how's your tire flipping going?
Um, it's going like the last time I flipped it the other day, it was like 250 flips, as well as like some,
So you're
man, it
getting
took me
close
like
to your distance?
oh yeah.
Okay.
No, the distance
And
I can go out and do a 1 mile tire flip any day. It's just not gonna be good.
it's no big deal.
It's
I mean, it's,
man, but when you built from that, today that was another thing that I was thinking about. I was like, how did I get here, right? And I'm like, man, the thing that I could share, the way that I'm able to perform, the way that I'm is literally when I'm out there, I'm processing. It's literally processing trauma. I'm like, all that stuff happened to me, so I can be able to do this. All that stuff happened to me, so I can be able to do this, and then share that with somebody else to help them realize, hey, man, if you suffer a little bit, it's going to benefit you.
Yep.
And then when you can take that and use that towards life and training and all that stuff, you know. So but on the path to those goals and stuff like that, there's going to be milestones when you consistently execute and execute and execute. Everything's going to start falling apart, and then, sorry, I didn't mean to do that like that. I shouldn't have done that. Then bam, right? One thing happens, and then it's like, oh man,
So you
okay.
think it's
Now
falling
you're
apart.
like a locomotive. Really, it's falling apart. So it's like something negative has to happen to take away, to make space, or to give you clarity, or educate you a little bit more on the next process that's about to come to fruition or whatever. And then a new season, right? So it's like, boom, okay, we got this little losing season that's going on. And it seems like everything's going wrong. And it's like, you're not coming back from that. And then, boom, chink, the first one slides into place. And it's like, whoa, okay.
So Geoff, just when you think things are falling apart, they may actually be starting to fall together, to fall into place. Because sometimes these things have to happen and you have to process things a certain way, right? Because we're all different. Some of us we take direction and course corrections easier, right? So my brother and I are very different people. I am willing to be corrected with little effort. So I don't have to bang my head against a wall. My brother's different than me. You need to hit him on the head with a hammer before he before he would realize these things and make the course correction. So we all process things differently. Some of us are more stubborn than others, and some of us take it and make those adjustments quicker because we all process differently. So when these things happen, we have to open ourselves up to the possibilities of what may be happening, right? So when we think it's falling apart, those pieces may actually be coming together in a way that you didn't anticipate. So that's why I always say things happen for a reason, but not because they're predestined and not because God's pulling the marionette strings, because I don't think God does that. God does not make good happen to you, and God does not make bad happen to you. He just wants to be the one that you turn to when it does. But when these things happen to you and they're bad, what do you do with it? Do you take it and wallow and like be defeated, or do you reform and reshape and move on? Do you make the course correction? You know, that goes along again. I tell you, we keep hinting at our compass conversation. That's why I think next week we should just actually do it formally and officially. But you make that course correction, and then suddenly what you think is destructive forms itself into this beautiful thing that you never anticipated. And I think that happened for you this week, and it happened for me. There are some things that happened to both of us that neither one of us anticipated. But oh my gosh, how it just took these pieces and shaped them entirely differently into amazing new possibilities. Right? And that's what this week is, amazing new possibilities. So while we're making all these plans, life happens. And what we have to do is we have to flex with it. Just flex. Be flexible. Agile. No, not flex. Flexible.
I was like, I can definitely do. I mean, I can flex.
I know you can flex. I can flex too, but I'm cold right now. I actually lit a candle. That's that weird light that you're seeing. I saw you looking over there. That's a candle.
Oh, I probably don't know what I was looking at.
Yeah, but it's just, you know, you have to have faith in yourself that when curveballs happen outside of your plan, that you're able to adapt and change. And then be audacious with your new path. Different isn't worse, and different doesn't mean it's not as good as a plan that you had, but it's what's happening.
Different is like, it's scary though.
Sure,
you know what I'm saying? Like, because different, it's like you're not prepared for that. Well, you're not prepared for the different action or the different knowledge or like anything that gets, you know, we're creatures of habit, you know. So whenever anything gets outside of that realm of like that, you know, confident knowledge or whatever, because setting up events and stuff like that is not my strong suit, you know. And it's just,
I know it's scary when things happen that you didn't anticipate, right? But think about all of the battle drills that we run and all of the missions that we had to have rehearsals for,
Well, yeah,
right?
you have to be able to detach. You
But
know, you
what
have to be able to.
happens? You can't control every single variable. You can plan all of your actions, right?
Yeah,
You
you're
can
never going to be
even
able to
plan for
control all
some
the.
contingencies, but you don't have control of all the factors. So that's why we're also taught battle drills, because there's some things that are, you have to have the instinctive response, right?
Well, they have
So,
to. Some things have to happen so you can react to them, and so you
so,
can't.
so,
You can't be
right,
proactive every time. Sometimes you
right.
have to be reactive. Sometimes
So,
you have to, wait for the punch because your offense is just not going to be there.
well, because you don't know where sometimes you don't know where it's coming from, but you have to, the battle drill is to know how to respond to the punch. So what are the battle drills in life, right? We have to understand how we're going to do these things. And resiliency is a battle drill.
Mm-hmm.
Because resiliency is something that you can practice. It's something that you can learn. It's something that you can rehearse. It's something that you can reinforce so that when life throws a curveball that knocks you down a little bit, you immediately revert to your resiliency skills so that you can bounce back and move forward. Albeit you may have to flex a little bit. It may be in a different plan, but that's a battle drill because we know that the best laid plans go to crap when the first shot is fired.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing is true in life. Just because you're not in the military doesn't mean that you don't know that these things happen. So sometimes the curveballs are great, like this week, and sometimes they're not. Like sometimes it completely puts a wrench in the works, and you've got to figure out how can I adapt from this.
Yeah.
So the battle drill is to train yourself into acceptance, resilience, continuity, all of these things that we have to do so that we can regroup and then analyze what happened here. How is this changing things? What are the second and third order effects? What can I do to work now within this new structure that I have to work within? So we can plan all we want. We can set goals all we want, but life is still happening while we're making all these plans. And sometimes it goes along with what we want, and sometimes it puts us on a completely different path. But the key is always to respond the same. It's the battle drills that we have to go through. And if people had these things at their disposal, then they would have the right tools in their toolbox and they would know what to turn to. So like you ran into some things with your t-shirt contract right now that aren't working out the way you want, but you had battle drills. You weren't defeated by it. You knew how to adapt. Battle drills. We should write a journal about that, by the way. That'd be an interesting one.
What, on firing companies? No, I'm just kidding.
Battle drills. What would be the civilian battle drills that we think? Because we know what the battle drills are in the military. They're the same. Same. Like those are, we run them a million times until they're instinctive. But what are the battle skills, battle drills in civilian life? What are the things that we have to know how to do in any situation?
Take ownership of problems.
People
don't want to,
No, because they want to pass blame or they want to be defensive.
Yeah, not everybody, but 95% of people, the second that a problem pops up is like, yeah, hey, you know what happens when you do this?
You got these things pointing right back at you.
Look
at that. See that? Every time you point, you better look in the mirror.
That's why I do like this.
Yeah, we had one of the battalion commanders in that first deployment who did this. I'm like, no, you can't get beyond that. Just because you do this doesn't mean you're not still at fault. Jackass. Yeah. But anyway, I didn't say that out loud. He was a nice guy, but interesting.
He meant well.
Yeah. So I think that's a good one, right? I think that's a great battle drill. I'm going to start taking notes. Hang on. Where the heck here we go. My journal. All right. So battle drills in life, taking ownership, because what do people like to do first thing? They want to pass the blame.
You have to recognize the issue, right? And once you recognize the issue, you have to take ownership or accountability of it. And then third, from there, you need to start looking at yourself, right? Like, so once you take ownership of it, okay, well, it's got to be my fault. You have to take ownership of it, because if you're not, then you're putting the mistake off on somebody else to figure out. Right. You're not actually fixing it. You know, because generally, if you're doing something wrong, it's because it came from up here wrong. Everything that takes place is a direct reflection of the top. You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
in the top in your life is you.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, so I guess what I'm talking about is like whenever you look at a command.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
If
okay. I
guys
see.
are making, so like even in business, right? Because generally
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about business or life or whatever. You know what
Oh
I'm saying?
yeah, it's absolutely top
If
down.
you know, in business, if the lowest person isn't operating effectively, either they're a POS or they're uneducated because you didn't educate
Because
them.
you didn't do your job. Right.
So it's not actually, you can't actually, you can get frustrated with them, but you need to be patient with them first. Because there were so many times when things would get taken so far out of context based on like we were doing things wrong. And it was like, you don't do them any better.
Well, and that's the thing with people. You
Oh,
if
it's
you
a
go into
double standard in life. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
if
Everything
you
is a double standard. Like, oh,
yeah,
nobody can see me do this. Nobody can see me do this. You know, it's like the shopping cart in the parking lot. How many? You know, like I put shopping carts back. Me, Jazz, whatever. Like we see a
yeah,
shopping cart out, and if it's like I'm not gonna walk 5 rows over, okay. But if it's on the way back to the car, or if there's trash on the ground, I'm gonna pick it up.
yep. Littering and shopping carts. Those are the two indicators of a person's character. If you don't put your cart back, look, and I'll tell you, there have
And
been
how you
times.
treat a server, you know, how you
Yes,
treat people in public,
yes.
right? Like if you
So
act like you're whatever doesn't
better than
stink.
them,
Yeah,
And that's the
no.
thing I understand. Like when people, yeah. So I had 3 kids. I would take my 3 babies. We'd have to go grocery shopping, and I'd have to manage that. I'd be on my own. I get how difficult it is. I get that you don't want to leave your kids, but but you can still model for them the kind of behavior that you hope they have. So you figure it out. You've got a kid here. Drive around the parking lot until you park next to a corral so you can put your buggy back easily. You know, have somebody from the store say, I've got these 3 kids. Can you come out and help me put my bags in the car so I can secure my kids and keep them safe in your parking lot? Stores will do that kind of thing for you. I don't know why people, you see these dads and these moms walking around the store and they got a mess of kids and they're trying to like drag buggies and everything else. Like, man, I feel you. Like I've been there. I know how it is, but ask for help. Ask for help. And I think that's something that people don't do. So they take shortcuts and things like that, but ask for help. Nobody expects you to do all these things by yourself. But when I see you and you leave your grocery cart just sitting next to your car so I can hit everybody else's car because you don't want to walk 3 cars up to put your cart back in a grocery cart, yeah, I got a problem with you. I got a problem there.
Yeah.
And if I see people, they throw trash out their windows, man, I'm hitting my horn because I can't. Why are you littering the community where we live
Mm-hmm.
or somebody else's community? Why are you doing that? It's gross.
You should see the inside of their car.
Yeah, inside your car is one thing. Just throw your crap away. I don't understand that. But yeah, you're right too. And then people who are sitting there, they're on their cell phones when the checkout person is trying to put their stuff in and ask them questions, and they're like, "I'm on the phone." I'm like, this person's trying to help you. Put your phone
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can have a show on pet peeves too.
Oh man. Yeah.
We'll make a list.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. Well, so I'll tell you what, it is
11. You're
59
yeah. Well, and PM. And what would
in
that
the
be?
Eastern time zone.
0-100.
Yeah,
It's like 0-100 and
it is
yeah.
23:59, and I don't even know how many seconds it is right now. But I should probably go take care of some Easter Bunny duties.
There you go.
So, but next week I'm in town. So I'm not traveling next week. That's good. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know where I'm at yet.
And then the weekend after that, I'll have some good stories because that's a steeplechase. Apparently, that's a huge event here in Charlotte. I actually have a hat. I bought a big hat to wear to the steeplechase because apparently that's what one does.
What does it look like?
So
Oh, you gonna wear it on the episode?
I'll wear it. Yeah. You won't be able to see my face, but yeah, I'll wear my big hat. It's got a big bow on it, big brim. I mean, it's like huge.
Oh man.
I think I put it on Facebook because I was trying to encourage people to come along. So I think if you look at my Facebook page, you'll see it. Talking about the steeplechase and wearing my hat. So no, it'd be fun. I got some events coming up. I've got one I'm going to with a friend of mine. I don't know what it is. It's something about cowboy boots, cocktails, bow ties. So it's like, I guess the theme is you wear formal dress with cowboy dress. So I've got this black cocktail dress and my purple cowboy hat, which I used to wear to all the LSU games, and cowboy boots. So that's a thing, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't go to country bars, but I do know that that's like a thing because there's all kinds of Pinterest. I was like, what does one wear? So I looked it up. I've got a few options. I might have to bedazzle some of them, put some rhinestones on.
Put some rhinestones.
Yeah, I'm not a sparkly girl, but my friend that I'm going with, she's never met a sparkle she didn't like. Sparkly sneakers. If there's sparkles on a shirt, she loves it. It's just her thing. So I got to put some sparkles on.
Man. So Black Rifle. I don't know what you're doing on the 30th. Isn't that Memorial Day?
May? Talking about May 30th?
Mm-hmm.
The Thursday? Oh no, that's June. It's a Monday. Nothing. Why?
Black Rifle Coffee Company.
Yeah.
Like locally here in Niceville, has this event. It's called the Lou, and it's in memory of that the guy's name. They call him Lou. I don't have his whole story pulled up right now, so man, that's frustrating. I could pull it up really quick, but anyway, the workout that they're doing in memory of him is 4 rounds. You can do it in person or virtually. I'm going to do it with. Okay. I'm going to do it with them. Yeah, I mean, you just do it at your house, but it's 4 rounds of a 300-meter sprint, 25 burpees, 50 push-ups, and 75 air squats. 4 rounds. That's like, I'm going to be smoked.
I'll die going through the first round.
What is it? Where's it at?
Well, I mean, maybe about the first round. Pretty much the first round. I am not in condition for that.
PRCC, Niceville. Okay. So the Black Rifle Coffee Company is going to be one of the sponsors and coming out to the event, coming out to set 22.
And I'm looking, trying to see if I can find it.
Okay, so the Memorial Day, join us at Black Rifle Coffee Company to honor and remember Louis DeLeon.
Louis DeLeon?
Figueroa, Figueroa, I think. Figueroa. Maybe that's how it goes. Master Sergeant Figueroa, 31, was killed during combat operations in Faryab province in Afghanistan. Anyways, Faryab province located in far northwest of Afghanistan along the border with Turkmenistan. He was assigned to 7th Group at Eglin. He was posthumously promoted to Master Sergeant. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we do that. We posthumously promote at your next rank, whether you're there or not.
Yeah.
I used to have to do all that paperwork for our guys.
But it's super cheap to do it. And it's like 15, I think it's like $15 for.
See, I hate burpees.
I do too, but whenever you're doing it for something like this, it's so much.
I know
different.
it makes a big difference. I'll look into it.
Like
I
the
like
suffering, right? But
you can stand to suffer a little bit for what that guy sacrificed for us. Yeah,
right.
I get it.
That's the whole point. Like, because I don't like doing burpees either, and when they mention the workout to me, they were saying that they were going to come to set 22 and stuff like that. I was like, bro, I'm there.
Speaking of
You know what I'm
which,
saying?
we're going to sponsor you. What the BLUF is going to sponsor you for set 22. I need to take care of that right now.
Do you have the? Oh yeah, never mind. I'm about to say. I was like, I'm going to send you the link again, and then.
No, I got it. Here it is. Yep, I got it. I think
Cool.
this is
And then
it.
let me know how the process goes with that, because like I don't know if we have to send the logo in through email or like what it said. Just let me know what it says like that if it asks you that, because I need to know that for other sponsors as well. I
Okay.
mean, I'm sure on Monday we're probably going to have a meeting about that, and I'll start pushing like all the sponsors out and stuff. We were doing it the Fred the Flintstone way at first. It was just like we had the forms out, and then you were gonna have to do it the old school way, fill out the form, freaking mail it in and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have never put that out there, because I much prefer people to do it digitally. It's so much easier, so much quicker, it's so much faster, you know. And I mean, I had people that were like, I'm not doing it if it's not digital. I just don't have time to go and fill out this form with my hand, and whenever I could fill it, autofill, and then select what I want to select and then send it in. Right. And
Well,
it's not being lazy. It's just literally when you're busy and you're
it thinks
trying
I
to
live
be
in Florida.
selfless, you just take, huh?
It thinks I live in Florida.
Really?
I fixed it. Yeah, I fixed it. I don't think it's going to ask me for any of that stuff, but
It
that's
might
it.
not.
I've ordered it.
It's the
It's
sponsorship.
done. Yep.
Okay, so they're gonna have to reach out then, and I'm gonna have to talk to them about that, as far as like, that's easy. You know, I'm sure it's just whoever their admin person is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they'll reach out, Jennifer or whatever. Will reach out, and then
Oh,
you can
I
send
already
the
got
logo.
the email confirming it.
Yeah,
So that's it.
sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I mean, it's us. We're
Yeah.
sponsoring us. What the BLUF sponsoring you and your set 22.
I'm excited to have it on the banner.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right, man. I know we started late today, but we managed to get some red chat in. We
You have
teased
to
some of the
be
good things
able
going on
to
with you.
adapt and overcome.
Yeah, and I know I still want to talk about changing our day. Because weekends, I think for both of us are. I know at least for me, a lot of weekends are gone because of Army duty, and it's only going to get worse with my new job. So maybe we might have to do like what I did with my cat when I had to retrain him into the litter box. You can only move it a little bit at a time. You know, maybe we'll just move our podcast just a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
Until we find the better day during the week.
Right groove.
Yeah. Because it's difficult to especially when I have to fly to bring all the stuff that I need in order to do the pod on the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to do that.
Well, yeah, that's an additional 10 pounds or whatever.
Yeah,
too,
to
you
have
know
all
what I'm saying?
right,
So,
to have all the space. Yeah.
no, I get it. Because that box is probably not small. But yeah, no, that's cool. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah,
it'll be good.
We'll figure it out.
All right, everybody.
It might work good that way too, because I mean, you know, I have a lot of events that take place on the weekends and all that stuff as well. But right now, this is what the situation is planned for this. But again, we set this thing up, and I wasn't like where I'm at right. Again, my life has like literally changed, transformed into like a whole different beast within like. I guess you could say it literally leveled up in like the last month. Like things got more chaotic. I'm attacking things more. I'm executing more. All these opportunities started taking place. And man, I'm so excited to be able to talk about it. And like just this once in a lifetime opportunity that won't be the only time that it's going to happen in life. But the opportunity for this one shot is like just, I don't know how to explain it. It'll be cool to talk
but you
about
know,
it, though.
It is, but you know, I understand because I feel like it's done the same for me. Mm-hmm. Like since you and I started planning this, I you know, my job that I took when I left the DA's office, Like that started my military career, my personal career. Like I feel like things are doing this, and I wonder if it's because we are finally doing this, like finally on the right road.
Yeah.
Fine, and
Like
reinforcing
sometimes you have to
ourselves.
have some little small key to come in there
Yep.
for other things in life to just start like, oh, this is where you're supposed to be at.
But
This
isn't
is going to
it?
connect everything else.
But aren't we? I mean, don't you find that these conversations are like not a reset button, but they're like you know what they're like? They're like when Pac-Man eats his power boost.
Yeah,
That's what
and he's
this
almost like invincible kind of.
that's what this feels like. It's like our power boost, which pushes us through the next week, and then it just enables us to really like what we're encouraging people to do, right? Live your best life. Like pull those things from our podcast that you can use to level yourselves up, you know? And I
Have
feel
you
like maybe that does it for us.
have you talked to more people lately? Like have you connected with more people lately? Like as far as people that you haven't that you weren't talking to before like due
Yeah,
to
so
this yet? Have you like has it
due to
your
this,
like people that you knew already but they started reaching out to you more whenever this
um
thing started kind of kicking off, or did you
I
like
I don't
find
know
a
if
new
it's
network of people yet?
I don't know
Or
if it's because of this, but there have been people who have been reaching out because maybe there's something about me that's energizing to them or whatever, but you know, trying to like get more things off the ground and like there's been some more of that, and I just feel like my friendships are I don't know how to describe it, but not because of this podcast yet. That hasn't
well, no,
happened
no,
yet.
no. Well, it's the way that I look at certain things of like happening is due to the type of networking skills that you'll like
Maybe.
develop through something. Not that you needed help with networking or anything like that. I'm not
No,
saying that,
I know what you're saying.
but I
I
know for
think
myself, it's like it's putting different energy out there, and then creating a different type of magnetism from within.
I
If that
feel
makes
I
sense.
know it does, and I think what
Because when you
I
spin a
feel more
magnet real
empowered.
fast and stuff like that, it becomes more magnetic. So, like
Yeah.
in universe, in like spirituality type stuff, like of like universal laws and stuff. When something spins really fast, it becomes really like a lot more magnetic because it's like creating that vortex and whatever, right? Even if it's
Yeah.
not magnetic, it'll still pull things in with it. You see what I'm saying? Like a twister, right? Like a
No, I
twister is
get
going to
it. I
suck
get it.
things in from all around because you're like operating at such a high level and a high speed,
I think
right?
that I do feel that. Like
And I feel like a twister tornado just like ripping through life right now, and I'm just like sucking all kind of stuff towards me. Good stuff.
I feel more empowered and I feel more powerful. I feel more effective. Like I feel like more of my
More
talents and capabilities are more focused and more potent. I think
mm.
that's how I feel. So I do feel a sense
So you feel
of power that I didn't have to this extent before, but I do feel like that's happened.
so you feel pretty pressure right now.
Yeah.
So do you know the terminology that I'm using? You would hear like some
Explain.
kids say, "Well, so okay, so like people will be like, man, that's pressure, right? Like that's just like a kind of like some ebonics for you, some street terms, street slang. It would be the same as saying like feeling very powerful, like
Yeah,
something
I like
that's
that.
really strong or potent. They're
See,
like, man, that's pressure.
I need people to explain the really cool people talk because I don't get any of that stuff. So yeah. I use Urban Dictionary a lot, and sometimes I smile because I'm like, oh, that's what that means. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, that's what that means. Like I had no idea what Netflix and chill meant until I looked it up in Urban
Oh my
Dictionary.
god!
And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, that's what that is. That's what they got on these shirts nowadays.
I'm like, they really
Hey,
this,
if
and
if
I'm not a boomer. Although I had to tell you, one of my coworkers, if he's listening to this, he's gonna know he's on my list. Jackass looked at me at work and he was talking. We were talking about Kennedy, and he's like, "So did that really change your life?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me, dude? I was not alive when Kennedy was shot. Like, I
oh
wasn't even a
snap.
star in the sky." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Oh my God." Anyway, no, but I do feel more powerful. I do feel like I'm more capable of doing things. I do feel more empowered. to take control, but I've always like being in charge is something that I'm used to being. When in charge, take charge. But I just find that people are maybe putting me more into situations or asking me to be in more situations where I am empowered to make a difference and am empowered to do things and to organize things and change things. So maybe it's that we get this weekly shot in the arm or this weekly power pill that, Pac-Man gets or Miss Pac-Man. And I just feel, I don't know. I do feel
it's hard to explain that right now.
it is hard to explain, but I hope that people experience this in their own lives. Like when they feel that thing that fuels them and fills those buckets and is that need and is a constant positive reinforcement, right? It's the absolute polar opposite of toxicity, which drains you of everything and it saps everything out of you. When you find something that's, beyond your primary relationships, right? Beyond my marriage, beyond your relationship with Jazz, beyond like something beyond that, right? Because you've got to have the fullness and the richness. But when you find that feeds that, and I think that's what this does is, these things, being able to focus on the words that we focus on and talk them through. And then I take in your story and I share my story and our thoughts. I think it just broadens my perspective and it gives me more of an ability to tap into what I do. And I that's what it is for me. So yeah, I feel pretty badass these days.
I'm gonna do a journal eventually once like right now, like so like let's just say I just leveled up in life on, in the game, right? Like or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like my life just went from level 9 to level 10. But when I go to like level 20, I want to talk about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this one, I'm not gonna say that this one's really like the one that I could like really, I mean, it's life changing and stuff, but it's not gonna be the one where I'm gonna be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be
I don't know, Jeff.
there's gonna be one level up that's gonna be like so like of so much of such magnitude that it's gonna blow everything. It's gonna be so big that it's gonna be like this, everything else, yeah, that was on the way, but this is what you went through everything for. This right here is what the lesson that you needed to learn to stay who you are. This is why.
But see, how do you know that point?
Because I can feel it. I
think there's
so
a lot of
what took place, what I was offered here recently.
Yeah.
We literally watched a movie about that 2 days ago,
and that's what
how
I'm saying.
strong my mind and like the magnet. Because like what Jazz was like, you're thinking about doing. I was like, yeah, I want to be a part of that.
So let me ask you this question though. So, I mean, and we always do this, right? We say we're going to sign off and then we don't. But so this was a big moment. Like that moment is huge. But that fuse has been lit and burning for a while. So who's to say that this is the moment of explosion and not the next moment or not the moment that happened that led to this moment? Like you can always, I feel like instead of a moment, it's like a daisy chain.
Well, no, because I feel like the next moment is going to, I feel like the next moment is actually going to force me to move.
So you're saying it's exponential. You're saying you kind of go along like this and then suddenly it goes up and then it's static and then exponential.
I think it's like a little, almost like a weight loss chart. Like you're going to lose some pounds and you're going to have to change your calories and take in a little bit more and you're going to come up a little bit and then, okay, let's cut them back down. And then you'll come back and you're gaining and you're going to have, it's a little, you're going to have the little setbacks because the little setbacks along the way is where you're learning the characters, the traits, the morals, and everything that you're going to need to carry on into that next lesson. Because if I didn't know the things that I did, if I didn't have the things that happened with the shirt company, I wasn't going to know that I needed to change because this other shirt company offered blah, blah, blah with yada, 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 a website with all these other options with this more along the lines of the way that I want my brand to run. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Whereas the
Mhm.
other one wasn't offering it. Not that the other one was wrong. I just needed to learn some things to be able to be like clarity.
Yep.
This is what I needed. It's not necessarily the that they did a bunch of stuff. I needed clarity because I didn't know what I wanted. So when you start seeing things that you don't want, oh, I definitely don't want that, but I
You
do.
learn.
Now I
Yeah.
know that I want this.
You live and
So
you
you
learn.
have to have those things to take place in order to gain the clarity to be able to go through with what you actually want and be very specific, right? Like, so that's the clarity, the specificity.
Specificity. Yeah.
Um, and then you have to also gain the thickness in your skin to be able to make those demands and be confident in the demands because you know that you want these demands because they bring this value, they add value here, here, and here. And this is just a part of who you want and who you represent or how you want to be represented as a brand, as a person, as a, whatever, a business, if that makes sense.
It does. It
So
does.
I know going forward, I think that like one of the things that we're going to do is help young entrepreneurs or people that are questioning going, being an entrepreneur or working for themselves or something like that. Like I'm literally starting from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? With nothing. We're going to, work on setting the foundation up. We're going to be able to educate people on that as well as like my personal brand comes right along with it. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to complement each other. Like I'm using my personal brand to raise money to put into the foundation. My brand is totally selfless. You know what I'm saying? It's not even feeding me. It's going into a pot that's going to help other people. That's not even my money. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I'm using my reputation to raise money like this to put money over here because, I need money for the foundation that I don't have an account for yet. I don't have this for yet. Okay,
Yeah.
well
We
I'm
got to set the
raising this
stuff
up
up.
and then boom, it's going to come into here from here, so if that makes sense. Anyway,
No, it
so
does. It does because I know what you're saying. So.
so it's like other people are probably listening and they're like, "Man, this dude is really ignorant in business."
But you know what? But everybody starts somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're starting from where you are and you're going to get to where you need to go. And that's okay.
Yeah.
So if people are saying that about you, well, fine. Then I hope they're calling you on the phone or sending you a text or hitting you up on your social media to say, hey, dude, let me help you. Instead of just
Right.
sitting there and reveling in what we don't know yet, help. I
Right.
can't stand this.
No,
If you're going
and
to sit there and
that's the thing
sharpshoot
about the
people,
people
then
that
be ready to step in.
Yeah, that's the people that I surround myself with. I have a lot of friends that are really, man, really stepping up to help me like get my like feet under me and stuff like really good people, really good companies, really like literally the community and stuff like that coming together to make sure that like I get the knowledge and the help and the, whatever
When you do something that
advice.
people believe in, they want to help it succeed. So,
Yeah.
all right. On that note, I seriously, like,
No, we gotta go.
nobody who knows me will actually believe that I'm still awake.
Except for
They're
the
like,
people watching.
no, they'll be like, people like, Christina is still up. Really? She's still up? Like, this is not the Christina we know and love. I'm usually like a pumpkin by about 10 o'clock at night. My husband will say earlier, but then I'll say, I have been working so hard to stay up later because I don't have to go to work anymore at 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was teaching, and when I was a DA, I was getting to the office early because I wanted to go through cases and get everything organized and get everything done. And I like to be there first thing in the morning. With my job now, I'm not logging in at 6:30 in the morning, that's for sure. So I can sleep in a little bit.
Yeah.
I can, have a normal evening like normal people do. And it's kind of nice. So, all right, man, I got to go though. I got to check in with the Easter Bunny and get some stuff going. So tomorrow's another day.
For sure.
But next week we're gonna be into this, and I think we're gonna talk about compass next week. I think it's time.
We're bringing the Linsatic.
Yeah, maybe I'll go grab it off my
I got one
vest.
somewhere. I don't know where it's at.
Yeah. I've always got one. If I'm in my vest and I'm outside, I always have it because you don't ever know when your phone's gonna fail, and you got to be able to tell stuff. So we always have a compass when we go out. I keep it on my hiking stuff. So unless you step on it, you ain't gonna break it. So
Right. I don't even know if you're gonna break it like that.
I don't know. I haven't tried. Yeah. So, All right. Happy Easter, man.
Happy Easter, you too.
Thank you. And for
Absolutely.
all of you, like, follow, share. That's the big important thing. Share. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. I believe we're up now on Pandora. If we're not on a platform that you want, all you got to do is send us a message on our social media anywhere, and we will rectify our oversight because we want you following us wherever you follow your podcasts. And with that, I think we out, man.
Geoff and Cristina out.